Yo, what's going on, guys? It's React here, and today I'm bringing you a new video, and in this video I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to play Call of Duty Black Ops 3 free-for-all. Now, you could obviously use these tips for other Call of Duties, but I'm making this video specifically for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now, what you're going to be watching in the background is a crazy-ass gameplay that I got yesterday. I joined a free-for-all late. I was struggling in the beginning. I was down 11 kills at one point, but I still brought it back, and I won the game. Now, I used all three of these tips in this video. That's why I thought it was the perfect gameplay and the perfect reason why I should be making this video. And yeah, let's get right into the video. Now, this first tip is a pretty obvious one, and it's use the right guns. On bigger maps, use an assault rifle. On smaller maps, use a submachine gun. And since I was playing on Infection, and Infection has long sight lines, I thought I could use an M8. And I pulled it out, and it didn't go so well. I was dying because I kept getting into close quarter gunfights, so I realized, you know what, I'll just pull out a VMP, and I smashed them all. The second tip is know the spawn. When you know where they're going to be spawning, it's really easy to just kill them. Now, in free-for-all, the spawns are usually on the edges of the map, so they're always going to be spawning on the outer edges of the map. They're rarely ever going to spawn in the middle quarters of the map. So you should always be keeping an eye out toward the outer edges, especially if the hotspot is on the outer edges. Speaking of hotspot, the third tip is control a hotspot. Now, what I mean by hotspot is where everybody goes on the map. Everybody on the map is trying to get control of this one area, this one building, or this one whatever, right? In this gameplay, it was the church building. Now, the church building is that one building that's brown and has one window and has two doorways and that staircase. Yeah, it's that. And what I kept doing is I kept flooding it. I kept going in there. I kept trying to get kills. I kept trying to racking up kills. I tried not to die in there, and I kept killing the campers that were camping in there. If you could control a hotspot, you could definitely win the game. Now, this fourth tip ties into the third tip by score streaks. If you're controlling hotspot pretty well, you will definitely get your score streaks. It's just gonna happen. If you keep racking up kills and if you keep being aware of your area, you will definitely get score streaks, especially if you're rocking the high ones. Now, this gameplay, I managed to get my Wraith and my Raps, and I managed to win the game with them. If you're using big score streaks that are controlled by AI, like the Wraith and the Raps, you're definitely going to win the game. If you control your hotspot, if you know where they're going to be spawning, you'll keep racking up kills, and you will get your score streaks. Now, this last tip is the biggest tip and the most mental tip, and it's that don't be a bitch and quit. Now, I joined the game late, and I was down 11 kills at one point. So obviously, I was thinking about quitting. I'm like, you know what? I'll just not play this game. But I stuck through. I do not know why, but I just kept playing, and I kept playing, and I ended up winning the game and getting my Raps and my Wraith. Now, my fifth and final tip is recognizing the hotspot. I talked about controlling a hotspot, but recognizing a hotspot is very crucial. Now, on Infection, I'll use Infection as an example. Sometimes the hotspot won't be that church building. Sometimes it might be that middle building where B bomb site is in Search and Destroy. That might be the hotspot, or it could be the opposite side of the map. It could be on the opposite side of the map, like that building with the two front windows and that one side window and that doorway leading to the stairway. It could be that building. It could be anywhere on the map. You just have to play it for like a minute to realize where people are going. And sometimes in free-for-all, there might not even be hotspot. Just keep running around in circles on the outer edges of the map. Catch people off spawn and kill them. And that's how you usually lose free-for-all, is when there's not a real good hotspot to be controlling. So the biggest point I could give you, the biggest tip I could give you, is control a hotspot and know the spawns. Those two are the biggest tips I could give you for free-for-all. If you master those two things, you will definitely win every free-for-all. Right now, my free-for-all record is 22-2. And those two losses were from me rage quitting. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. And next week, I'll bring you a new video, a special video, a new series that I'm going to be starting. You guys will see it next week. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.